think that the women who don't settle for less be having it easy, but it's not easy. And she's 100% right. Every time I get on here and talk about like staying true to your standards, standing your ground, like not settling, it's always women in the comments that are like, oh, but it's so hard. I really like him. I really miss him. Girl, me too.
So this reminds me of a chat that I had with Chat GPT the other day. Let me show you how it went. So Chat GPT asked me, how has your experience been with dating? And I was like, I only date black men, and I find some of them emotionally unintelligent, overly sexual, poor leaders, sexist, homophobic, selfish, and self-loathing. But I think men of different races also have these same problems. It's hilarious that ChatGPT was like, hold on, bitch, not too much on black men. Like, this might violate the terms. You went on them a little bit too hard. But, I mean, hey, that has been my experience. So the chat was like, it sounds like you're noticing a lot of the common struggles that come with dating men regardless of race. You're right. Traits like emotional unintelligence, sexism, and selfishness can definitely be found across the board. Some of the challenges are tied to how men are socialized, with society often encouraging them to suppress emotions, prioritize dominance, or conform to traditional gender roles that can create toxic behaviors, making it harder to form healthy, balanced relationships. It can be tough, especially when you're committed to dating within your community and still running into these issues. But it's possible to find black men who break away from these harmful behaviors, even though it may take time to find one to match what you're looking for emotionally and mentally. How do you usually approach relationships when you come across these traits? And I was like, once I notice negative traits that they are not actively trying to address, I stopped talking to those men. And then the chat was like, that approach makes sense, especially since you're clear about what you won't tolerate in a relationship. It shows you value growth and accountability, which is key to building healthy connections. It can be hard finding people who are willing to do the self-work, but sticking to your boundaries helps protect your peace. When you stop talking to those men, do you feel like it's easy to move on? Or does it get frustrating at times having to walk away so often? And I was like, I find it easy to move on because I'm good at detachment. It did take me a while to get to that point though, but deep down my inner child is hurt every time I have to leave. And the chat was like, it's powerful that you've built that ability to detach, but I can understand how it still affects you on a deeper level. Even when you're good at walking away, it can still hurt to keep encountering those same disappointments, especially if it feels like it's touching old wounds. That inner child wants to feel safe, loved, and seen without having to constantly protect herself from being hurt. Have you found any ways to soothe or heal that part of yourself when those feelings come up? And here's where I started bawling out of control. And I think it's mostly because like my inner child heard us talking about her, and she just felt like that was her cue to get the boohoo on, you know, because she really is hurt. Like I truly am a lover girl. Ever since I was little, like I would fantasize about love and romance. Like that just did something for me. And my inner child is like really sad that it's taking this long for me to find someone that I can like be a lover girl with. So, you know, she was upset. So I was like, wow, you really just made me cry with that question. And the chat was like, I'm sorry to hear that, but it's completely okay to feel that way. Emotions can be powerful, especially when you touch on something so personal. It shows how deeply you care about your own well-being and the journey you're on. If you want to share more about what's coming up for you or talk about ways to nurture that part of yourself, I'm here to listen. So then I was like, I don't know how to soothe or heal those parts of me when the feelings come up. Can you teach me how? And here comes ChatGPT with the motherfucking solutions. And that's why GPT is my nigga. They go, absolutely. I can share some ways to help soothe and heal those deeper feelings. Here are a few techniques you might find helpful. So it listed a bunch of techniques: self-reflection and journaling, mindfulness and meditation. But number 3 is the one that really did it for me. It says inner child work. Visualize your inner child and try to connect with her. What would she need to feel safe and loved? You can write her a letter or even just speak to her in your mind, reassuring her that it's okay to feel hurt and that you're there for her. And so that's the one I did. Like I imagined myself in front of my inner child. And it was me as a little girl, and she like ran up to me, and we hugged each other really tight. We were both just bawling and crying, and she was like, "This is so unfair. Why is this happening? It's taking too long." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know this shit sucks, but like none of this is your fault. You're amazing. You're doing great. It's just, you know, we in a fucked up world, and fucked up world make fucked up people, and it's hard to love fucked up people." So me and her was just bawling, and I was just reassuring her and telling her how much I love her and how much I think she is amazing. And baby, at the end of that, I felt so much better. Like, for real, for real, for real, that really did provide a release. So yeah, and that's something I'm gonna start doing more of in the future, and I highly suggest y'all try it too. Okay, I love you. Bye bye.